Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad, Black Thor, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. We're going to start off with March Madness. And in bracketology, you see that young man down there laughing and looking happy. He's riding high with Kansas still in the race. And I was rooting for Memphis so hard. So I wouldn't have to face this day, but it just wasn't meant to be. Gonzaga's out, Arizona's out, but Kansas is still in. So Ice Water still holds the league in our brackets with 62 points, followed by Black Thor with 55. Pop has 51, and I have 31 points. I never thought I'd be in last place. This is supposed to be my sport. But anywho, Ice Water, got the Brownie Boys hat. Ice Water, let me get your reaction of last week's games, man. First, we're going to tackle the men's games, and then we're going to tackle the women's games because the women are balling too. So let me get your thoughts on it since you're in first place.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what, man. Gonzaga lost. I was like, man, I didn't want to put out the ref card, but that was a horrible game. They didn't want them dudes to win. I was like, okay, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to stand up to it. But the way Arkansas played and Memphis played before that, Arkansas was coming and they got all excited, but, they became one-dimensional. A lot of surprises. I'll just say this, man. The two teams, I kind of thought Duke would make a run. I didn't see it in the tournament early on, but you could just tell. They had the wherewithal. They had a lineup to win it all. And you saw that early. The reason why I said it is because I watched them beat Gonzaga early in the year. I also watched them lose to Ohio State. But they got the way that their lineup is, the way they come at you with the talent, when they're on, like they are right now, they're very difficult to beat from that standpoint. Kansas is doing Kansas, man. That little boy, that little dude, Remy Martin is shooting that rock and doing his thing. It's going to be interesting, though, because he can shoot that rock when there ain't nobody on him. First thing I'm going to think, why don't y'all check that dude? He wide open. But they're doing well. So Villanova is coming through, made the Final Four by beating Houston. Houston couldn't shoot the rock. But Villanova is they're missing one of their key guys. It's going to be a tough game for them against Kansas. And what can I say? I'm going to get off of this and let you guys talk about it. All I'm going to say to you is, Puma, I told you that damn North Carolina. I tried to tell you. I said when I picked them, I should have taken them more longer. I was scared, but I picked them the first game, and I said, Puma, when they beat Duke, they're about to make a run. And when I watched them, I watched them a little bit, and everybody kept saying Hubert Davis was going to get in the way and whatnot. But dude, they got some ballers, and that Mr. Love. That dude, when I saw him shoot from the logo, I was like, are you what? Man, they are balling.
I didn't see that coming. I did
not. Oh, man. But here's the thing, and I'll let you guys have it after this. What I love about this is, because he kept talking about St. Pete's, which is a very good team. They laid their butts off, talking about Arkansas. But Duke and North Carolina are almost they're almost split image of one another because they have size. They get up and down the court, they score the ball, and they play good defense. They're bigger than most teams. And they got bigs that run the floor well, which is why they're doing well. And that's how it is. When you watch the St. Pete, they had those 4 guards and whatnot. The issue is Duke and North Carolina have big people, big guards, big people that get up and down the floor, and when they're on, it causes a problem, big time. So this Final Four, I mean, nobody really saw it coming, but it's exciting. Plus, too, as I get off this thing, last but not least, like it went down this way last year, right? Came down this way with Black Thor had picked Gonzaga, and he was looking all cute and pretty and everything, and they wanted to win. So we're in the same position. We're in the same position we were last year. So if Kansas does not win, you know what's going on, don't you? Okay, that's enough. All right, I'm going to get off.
All right, Black Thor, you've been away for a couple of weeks, man. You have the floor, Brother Raccoon, so go ahead and spill it.
First of all, I just want to say, any other time you do the breakdown of the numbers, who and where, and this and that, you ain't saying none of this. I'm trying to listen out like, what? Because all I heard throughout the college basketball scene, Ice saying Rutgers, this team, that team, all this. Now, what happened to all that talk, my man? I said, what no? Where's the breakdown? What's the numbers? You don't have them? Because I can bring them up.
Well, bring the numbers up, because at the end of the day, the standings are what they are.
Hang on a second. Give me a second, man.
Yeah, do that. Bring
Want to know.
Let the people know. Let the people know who the
The fans want to know. Let me see if I can get this, man. This is live, right? We can do this live, right? Let's see.
Bring it up. There you go. Bring it up.
Wait a minute. There might be too much glare on it. Wait a minute. Let me just tell you right now.
Go ahead.
First place happens to be Ice.
What did you say? What did you say? Say it again.
First place has to be Ice. Right now, temporarily, Ice is in first place with 62 points. Now, Ice is only maxed out at 78 points. I happen to be in second place. And remind you, I get teased every year. Like I said last year, it came down to the last game Gonzaga lost. I'm in second place with 55 points, but I got a chance to max out 103.
Why is that? Tell me why.
Well, because I have Kansas winning it all, baby. I got Kansas. I just have Kansas going, but they don't have Kansas winning.
So what does that mean, though? Break that down. What does that mean, though? So you just said you got all those points possible. So that means Kansas has to win.
If Kansas lose in the Final Four, or they lose basically in the championship game, Ice will be the champ.
Okay.
So I need Kansas to win out basically for me to basically take over, the top spot, which I believe is going to happen.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to get down to third and fourth. Because fourth is going to shock you. Third, we kind of.
Why are you not talking about us?
Hey, listen. Third place, we got Puma Pops. He's got 51 points. His max is only 67. Now here's the shocker, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the shocker. Fourth place is Puma. Puma has 32 points, and guess what? He only max out at 32. Who did your bracket? Chuck E. Cheese? I just want to know.
Hey, I'm gonna say one thing. I knew you was in trouble when you had Iowa in the Final Four. I knew you was in trouble. I was like, damn.
You worried about Kansas going down.
You try to give the Big Ten some love, and they don't give you no love back. Every year, they don't give no love back. Man.
We all thought it was gonna be kind of crazy, and it was crazy for a while. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Villanova, and I kind of kicked myself because I looked how they played in the Big East tournament. I was like, they're not gonna do much this year. They're just not ready there. And I forgot about the head coach. There's something about that head coach, man, that just basically takes a team and get them to play beyond their talent level. They've been together all year. They kind of sold themselves together, and Villanova is no joke. Kansas a couple of times had me scared. I'm not gonna lie. They just, like I said, they find a way. They get in games like they forget who they are, and then all of a sudden they start playing and decide they want to win. So I'm banking that they can probably win this all, but I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't a little afraid when they was playing. I picked Gonzaga to be in the Final Four, but I didn't trust Gonzaga because to me, and I think I said this to you, maybe off the show, Puma, Gonzaga tends not to do well with teams that are physical or faster than they are. For some reason, if they're a little physical with Gonzaga or they're faster, they tend to kind of not play. And I thought the team last year was better than the team they had this year. They didn't win it last year. I didn't think they're just going to win this year. And I'm surprised at Duke. I'm really surprised. I mean, even though, they started playing well, I didn't think it was going to get this far. But North Carolina, man. I mean, I think North Carolina for some reason, I think North Carolina is a dark horse in this Final Four because they have some talent that we just did not see step up all year. And they kind of waited till they got to Duke. And again, they got a chance to play Duke again. I think they're going to take Duke out. I believe that's going to happen. I think there's something about them. And I have to tip my hat to Hubert Davis because he found a way with everything that was going on and swirling. And I think he kind of got out early in this tournament. Might be telling a different story. He's found a way, man, to galvanize that team and get those young men to play, bro. And I turned that game off early Sunday when I was playing I think it was St. Peter's, St. Martin's, whatever. That wasn't even worth watching, bro. That was like basically men playing, kids in a pickup game, a bunch of eighth graders, because they just demolished them. And I'm glad the head coach from that university went on to take the Seton Hall job. And I'm happy with that. But good Final Four, bro. Good Final Four. Villanova. I kind of would, kind of look at them as a favorite, but I got to go with Kansas because finally, man, it's time for Ice to come down, bro. Ice been kind of the last couple of years. It's time for Ice to fall down. Down goes Ice. I already took down Pops. We took down Puma. Down goes Ice, baby. Down goes Ice. Down goes Ice.
I was talking to Pop, I think after you called him. I didn't know you called him. And he said, yeah, that fella called me like, what's your brackets look like? I said, what's your brackets look like? I said, I knew there was an argument in that phone call. Because me and Ice were, we were right off the air. We called Pop because we were trying to set up his bracket. And Pop was like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. We were all apprehensive about what was going to happen in this tournament. But you guys made some great picks. I wish I would have known about North Carolina before, because I started to do like a multiple brackets and put North Carolina as champion. And I said, I'm just going to do one bracket for the show and that's it. Mm-hmm. But again, North Carolina caught me by surprise. And if you notice, I noticed this, that, I have a lot of friends who are North Carolina fans and family of North Carolina fans. We ain't saying nothing. It's almost like we don't want to spoil this because we don't want to start saying anything and doing it, because for one, I didn't see this during the regular season. And I'll admit, I didn't think North Carolina should have been in the tournament, to be honest with you, the way they were playing. But I think that game against Duke, and then they lost a game against Virginia Tech in the tournament, in the ACC tournament. I'm like, I don't think they're ready. And I had them going out in the first round against Marquette. That's how much confidence or lack of confidence I had in them. But this Final Four, the way it's turning out, it seems like North Carolina shouldn't have been an 8th seed. They should have been higher. And you saw a lot of these seeds that should have been higher seeds, but they put them at lower seeds, and they took out some of the higher seeds, like the Arizonas, like the Gonzagas, and like the other 1 seed. And so this has been a topsy-turvy tournament. I think it was done on purpose, just so that we can cause, I guess Match Madness causes confusion. Any other thoughts, Ice, about this particular tournament before we go to the women's?
Yeah, because it's nice with those stories with the 15 seed making their runs and other teams, but in the end, it was like the better programs and the better talent rose to the top, right? And I like St. Peter's. You got to give them love. They won games. Gonzaga was in trouble because losing, having struggled with Memphis, and then Arkansas found a way, but then Arkansas got put in their place. And so I think their coach needs to put some work in. So you can see certain teams make runs. Like I thought Purdue would go a lot further, but it's just something about them where with your coach, they don't always appear tough when it counts. And that surprised me about them. I got to say kudos to Michigan. Love them or hate them or whatever. They lost their star point guard, and the guys were rallying around, coming off the bench, and they finally got Hunter Dickinson in there playing some ball. And you got to give it to Villanova. Villanova, it'll be interesting to see what they do against Kansas. They lost one of their stars.
Yeah. The
one thing Villanova does more than anything, almost any team so far, they shoot the ball well late in the game. They have a knack. Ohio State played them earlier in the year and right in the tournament, and they were trying to get there, and they would not miss. So it'll be interesting to see. It's been a lively tournament. I've been excited. I've been on the edge of it, going, hoping Black Doors Kansas lost, but they still live. So, but the one thing I thought it was going to be all over, I thought it was going to be down. So those early picks in the first round really helped me. Ohio State, Michigan, Memphis, put me right where I need to be. And at the end of the day, you got to let the chips fall. And Black Thor was feeling good this time last year. He had his hands up. He got his victory cigar, had his victory speech where he was dancing like he dancing now. And then that last game came, was like, ding dong. Kiss the ring, baby. You lucky I don't put my hat on. I don't even need my hat. We're going to see. Good luck, Black Thor.
Black Thor, you got the final word on the men's tournament.
I'm thinking next year, Pops and Puma shouldn't even get in the bracket. You don't even bring drama. We need drama sometime. You don't even bring 32. Tell me. I mean, he said to me earlier on the early weekend, you keep laughing, I am laughing, still laughing. Oh man, good basketball. I mean, it's funny because when I stop and think about it, as Ice was speaking about Michigan, I think Juwan saved his job, bro. I think if they kind of had an early exit, I think the people kind of been after him, kind of get him out of the way. I remember the night that Kentucky lost. I was listening to the radio. Oh man, they want everybody outside of Kentucky want Calipari gone.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. They're like, what has he done? They lose in the first round. They're like, what has he done? Basically, even when he had the players, they're saying he didn't win. When you think about it, they have a point. They do have a point. He has basically sold you a bunch of goods, but it never turns into basically being there. And you look at him as a coach, you look at the coach at Villanova. Villanova does not get the talent that Kentucky has gotten over the years. Mm-hmm. And what's the difference? And it's a good point, very good point. With that being said, Coach K, I'm not a big fan of Coach K, but I'll give him credit. He got his players, but they kind of bought in because quietly there had to be a lot of pressure on Duke players because you did not want to go out early on the last run for Coach K. I mean, now they made it to the Final Four. I think they can breathe a little bit and kind of loosen up a little bit and play. But you did not want to be that team that basically let down Coach K and not make it far into this tournament. So they kind of riding that. And I think the same thing about Hubert Davis. I think if they had an early exit, and you're right, they may not have, because their record, they probably should have been in. But if they got in and got bounced out quick, you would have, the noise would have started chirping, man. So he kind of basically cemented himself for a while. I think Juwan Howard did the same thing. Arizona and to me, Arizona and Auburn, I kind of knew they was going to kind of fizzle out, especially Auburn. I never bought into them. I mean, they gave that coach a big contract extension during the regular season for what? I have no idea. Just never bought in. It just seemed like they can always kind of go down at any particular time. And I felt the same way about Arizona. So as I said, when it's all said and done, the teams that really have it together, they're in the Final Four. They really do. It's been a good season. Good tournament. Come on, Kansas. Come on, Bill. So if the FBI couldn't take you down, bro, don't let Villanova or North Carolina take you down. Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
If there was a perfect world, Bill Self would be arrested by the FBI on Friday night before.
You know what I find ironic real quick is I don't hear nobody talk about them damn allegations.
No, nothing.
I remember one person was, man, when they catch you, they got to take you down. I ain't heard nothing about it.
It's come on, old buttercup.
Yeah, come on, Bill Self. Come on. You cheating and everything, allegedly, but come on.
All right, let's go to the women's Final Four. This should be a good one. Stanford and Connecticut, and you have Louisville against South Carolina. I've been watching the games. I thought UConn would be out of there. They just don't look like the old UConn, but you have teams that are dominating like Stanford. They had a tough time getting into the Final Four, and South Carolina just been cruising. Louisville had a little tough time, but they're in there. I'm going to go to Black Thor on this one, on the women's tournament. What did you see, and what do you see in the future on Friday night when the Final Four commence?
I got to give Gino credit, man. I've never been, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I like what he's done with the women's basketball team. Him as a person, not a fan. But to me, this tournament, he's proved his merit, his coaching. I mean, they got past North Carolina State. I mean, and this is not your normal UConn women's basketball team, but he's coaching them up, bro. He's coaching them up. I mean, and he's getting them there. So to that, kudos to him. It's going to be a little tough from this point on. And as you said, South Carolina's kind of cruising along, but they're going to have to kind of turn it up because I think these other four teams are kind of saying, you know what, we deserve to be here. We could take them down. So if they're kind of leaning, cruising too much, they might be in trouble. Because I'm going to tell you, there's something about UConn, even though it's not their normal team, there's something about this team. They have some guts and some dog in them. And you put that together with the old man coach and knowing what he's doing, do not be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm kind of nice when I look at this bracket in the Final Four. I like Stanford. I like Haley Jones, her leadership on that team. And it seems like Stanford is primed to go up against South Carolina, but you never know with UConn and that grittiness they're playing with. What are you seeing before the Final Four and this Friday? What do you see?
Well, you knew that early on that UConn, once they got Paige back, and Paige B back, that they were going to make a run. And she stepped up against North Carolina State, particularly in the overtime game. It was like, man, are you kidding me? She's hitting shots. It's almost like she's had come out of nowhere like she had never been injured before, and they rallied behind her. So she's definitely a big resource for them. But Stanford won it all last year, right? Stanford is no joke, man. Stanford, they're not afraid. They're not scared. I'm not sure if they can win it back to win back to back. But UConn's going to have to play a hell of a game because Stanford's not going to lay down. Stanford is not North Carolina State, and they're not North Carolina State, and it's not they're playing in Storrs, Connecticut either. So
yeah, they played in Bridgeport, like, so pretty much it was.
Stanford's not afraid though. They do not care. Tara Vanderveer is gonna come in there. They're gonna be like, look, y'all gonna have to earn this. So you got away with one last game. Well, you got your magic, your lucky rabbit foot in your pocket too. But South Carolina, Louisville, man, Louisville comes in strong. They play hard. But Don Staley is her team has that eye of Dawn, I call it, where they just kind of come at you and they don't stop. And then they got the top player perhaps in the country coming in and making some things happen. And they're just rugged and nasty and mean. It's going to take a hell of an effort for Louisville. Louisville got past Michigan, but I don't know if they have enough. I really don't know if they have enough because once South Carolina start putting that pressure on you,
right,
coming at you all crazy and Don screaming at people, stomping their foot on the floor, it's going to be a hard one. So I kind of see South Carolina coming out of that. And then I'm gonna go with Stanford, man. I'm gonna go with Stanford. I know that's in Connecticut and all that, but Stanford's nasty, man. Stanford is a nasty team, and we'll take it from there.
All right. We're gonna go to the NFL right now, and Black, I can't stand every year around this time when the coaches meetings and the owners meeting happen. They're tinkering with our NFL, man. Just leave the NFL. A lot of NFL is fine. But now they're tinkering with the overtime, giving everybody a chance to get the ball in overtime. One thing is, you get 60 minutes to get a chance to win a football game. If you lose the coin toss and your defense let the other team score, you just lost fair and square. That's why they call it sudden death. But maybe you have a different perspective on this. I'm with Mike Tomlin. Let's keep it the way it is in the regular season so teams will play harder. And if you don't want to lose, you play your hardest in the 60 minutes so it doesn't have to go to overtime.
Well, only good thing about this that I, maybe can sign off on is it's only a 4 playoff split right now. And that's based on because Buffalo couldn't play defense for 13 seconds. Let's just get real, bro. They couldn't play. For whatever reason, they couldn't play defense. I'm with you. I think every year this rule change and adjusting stuff is over too much, bro. If anything, work on trying to improve, with the replay and stuff of that nature and what's going on in the field. But every year tinkering because somebody got their feelings hurt a couple of years ago. Don't get me wrong. It was a blatant miscall on a pass interference in the playoff with New Orleans and I think it was Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, that was anybody could saw that was pass interference. Now you go back, you change the rules. Pass interference now is just totally crazy, confusing. It gets people, and I don't understand half the time they don't call it when somebody's grabbing somebody's hand and running down the field.
They're grabbing a helmet or something like that. They don't call it.
So it's like work on basically the rules that you have, executing them, but changing the rules back and forth. Or tinkering every time somebody getting their feelings and they go to this meeting every year. I'm with you. I don't understand that. And I will say this though, that that to me, I love the fact it's sudden death. Regular season, post playoff, whatever. If you make it to overtime and you score first, game over. Field goal, as far as I'm concerned. You should have to go down and score a touchdown. You get the ball and you score. The object should be if the other team gets the ball, your defense got to play and stop them. You're grown men. All this play a whole quarter. And again, in another, they're going to take care of rule. Change this rule of basically it should never be a tie in NFL. It should never be a tie in NFL. No. Play to somebody score. I don't care if you got to play 3 quarters. Play to somebody score. You're a professional. This tie was a tie. But to me, this basically, they have to have the right. No, it's not college football. They have to have the right. You earn the right to get the football in overtime. I grew up with that way. I know it sounds old school. But to me, if you're going to make it to overtime, whoever gets the ball, you score first, field goal, run back, whatever, fumble in the end zone, game over, let's go. That's it.
Yeah, Ice, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, it's crazy. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think because, like you said, Buffalo didn't get their way. They couldn't handle business. So now they're talking about, and we would have more. Dude, come on. You've been watching these games for long. They need to really have a class on time management and coaching, man, and how to coach and manage the game. Because Lord knows if the damn Chargers, excuse my language, the Chargers had not called a timeout, they'd have made the playoffs. That's what they need to be doing. You worried about extra time to go to overtime. If you would not make all the timeout, you've been in the playoffs. But they sometimes they outsmart themselves. But about this rule, okay, somebody gets in. I agree with Black Thor. I am glad that they have reserved it so far to the playoffs. But you watch what I say. You can mark this down. It's going to be a situation where somebody's going to say, if the way the old rules was, we'd have won that game.
Yep.
So you cannot win. You cannot win. Everybody knows what the rules are. The fact that even let you go that far says a lot. But I don't know. I think they should have left it alone. So it's going to always be something. Well, when we get another opportunity, it's always some jump, bro. They ain't going to never be satisfied. How about changing that rule where, somebody like the coach out in Seattle was signing Colin Kaepernick? How about that rule change? Anyway.
Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. Before we get there, here's what you do, NFL. Just go to flag football. Go to flag football and give out participation awards, because that's where you're going. That's where you go. You can't hit the quarterbacks. You can't play defense anymore. So maybe about 25 years from now, we're gonna be sitting in our chairs, in our rocking chairs, and go flag football. They changed the rule to flag football. I'm not gonna be surprised. Just unplug the machine on me, because that's it for me. That's it for football for me.
Boomer. Yeah. You already got that. It's called the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's coming. Ice Water, transactions, NFL transactions since last week. What are some of the surprises?
The factor that Cleveland has not got rid of Baker Mayfield, boy. Whoa, man. Baker, bruh. They got you in a pickle, bro. Pittsburgh wants you. They don't want to pay for you. 49ers want you. They don't want to pay for you. They can't trade their quarterback because they're going to trade. They say they're going to start the young guy, Trey. Was it Landers? They're going to start him, but they can't trade. Yeah, they can't trade Garoppolo because they're waiting to see what's going to happen with Baker. So Baker came out here, put out an apology letter, and tell me he all frustrated and angry. He ain't gonna play this, and y'all shouldn't have went after Deshaun Watson, Cleveland. And to top it off, let us go ahead and sign our other backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. Now, how you like us now, Baker? Baker like, man, Seattle don't want to pay for you. They want you, but they don't want to pay the money. They don't want to give us the draft picks or anything. So he's in a pickle. He is in a serious pickle. And love or hate what the Browns are doing right now, but all I know is things is kind of turning up over there. Landry talking about trying to come back. How about Landry losing this damn agent? Fired his agent because he thought he was gonna get more money. Now he ain't got nowhere to go. He's like, well, my home's in Cleveland. I love Cleveland, man. Please, you know what I'm saying? Now you love Cleveland. You love Cleveland because your man messed your money up. You ain't got nowhere to go.
Now I ain't got love for Death Row.
Now we got love for Death Row. Now you want to come home. You want to come home to Death Row. So that, and one last one. With when Hunt going over down to Miami, the Chiefs is like signing everybody. Was it Marquez Valdez Scantling, and then they also Smith Schuster?
Yeah.
It's like, man, is anybody still a vet? They like thinking anybody can you play? Come on over. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Juju was a mistake. That was a big mistake. I even heard that Pittsburgh was even looking. I was reading something that Pittsburgh was even looking at Cam Newton. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with the Steelers? Black?
I'm gonna say this right now, man. I think Kansas City Chiefs. I know we want to sometimes look at people or teams what they've done in the past and predict they're going to do in the future. I think the NFL kind of has basically caught up with Mahomes. I respect him. Good quarterback. I think they caught up with him, bro. And now you take Tyreek Hill off that team? Oh, yeah. Bro, they don't caught up with him. They don't caught up with him. And to me, Kelsey now is going to be double teamed. No one's going to fear Juju Smith. Valdez cannot take a top off a defense. And you're going to have Mahomes running around like a chicken with no head. And sometimes the head's going to get cut off, bro. I mean, I understand Andy Reid said, you know, we offer him so much, bro. Offer him more. Offer him more. There's only one Tyreek Hill in the NFL, bro. One. I was listening to a guy who played for Cincinnati. I can't think of his name. He was a receiver across from Ocho Cinco. And he said Tyreek Hill is one of those type of receivers that defenses are scared the hell out of when they come to play. They're scared. They not been a couple of nights before the game, they don't sleep. That's the type of person you got to pay and keep on your team. Now, he's not going to be the same Miami, granted. But what he's going to do to your offense, bro, I'm sorry. You would not have beat Buffalo if it wasn't for him. Let's just be honest. With that defense, they play scared because of him. And you're just going to basically say, we don't want to pay him enough. Hell, you should have went to your quarterback, who has been playing that well for the past couple of years, and give us some money back so we can keep him and our team can be better. But, you know, he's in TV commercials. Everything is great. You know, he's got insurance going on. We're going to find out this year because the AFC has gotten stronger, has gotten better. I love what Cleveland's doing. I mean, in spite of what he's being accused, allegedly accused of, people understand there's a big difference between civil and criminal. He's not charged. Basically, at some point, the NFL basically going to allow him to come on the field and play, and which he can play. He can make a living. He don't have to go to Taco Bell and earn a living. You know, he's a quarterback. He can play quarterback. And Cleveland was smart enough. And they act like Cleveland's the only team offering money. They're just offering more money. The other teams are chasing now, but they just offering more. And to me, you put them on that team right now with that running game, bro. I don't care if Pittsburgh bring Cam Newton. They can go back and get Johnny Unitas, as far as I'm concerned. Cleveland is going to be a team to be reckoned with, bro. They are. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with. And Homeboy learned, I don't care who say they want the best quarterback. Nobody really wants him, bro. He's immature. I like the fact that these owners now, some of these NFL owners aren't afraid to come out and say boldly. Because I remember the Cleveland Browns head coach when Hugh Jackson? Yes. When he came out and said they told him to take, he was like, wait a minute. Whoa. No one told you that. You need to really understand that you couldn't coach. So I was like, whoa. And then, I don't know if you heard it recently, Jim Irsay, Indianapolis coach, came out and talked about Wentz. These owners are fine. They're like, look, I'm spending this money. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, get up out of here. We ain't playing around with you no more. No, it's waiting around, bang. No, I love when an owner ain't afraid to come out because these reporters kill me. You want people to tell you the truth, but they tell you, well, they should have said that. What you want? Let a man speak. Let a man say what he has to say. So, yeah, what's his name is more than a pickle because basically the one thing that he did to me on the Mayfield, bro, it's a business first. Get out of your feelings. Take off your wife underwears, go get you some boxes or something and wear them. Bro, you didn't get it done. No one cared you played hurt last year. You had 4 or 5 years in Cleveland. You didn't get it done. You had good receivers you couldn't get the ball to. You made the city look like a clown. They're tired of being the Clown Browns. They want to be the Cleveland Browns. So what you should have done is kept your mouth shut. There's many other teams out there you could have played for. But guess what? You act like a little, you know what? Now you sit around, like I say, you want to apologize. I never heard he apologized. But even if you did, it doesn't matter at this point. You're going to take out an ad? I'm leaving here, blah, 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 blah. Bro, Cleveland ain't that in love with you. Well, what did you do? You have better TV commercials than you was on the field. Let's be honest, bro. Let's get real. Get out of your feelings.
Speaking of Cleveland and Roger Goodell and Deshaun Watson, I learned this week that Roger Goodell no longer has a say-so whether or not Deshaun Watson violated NFL personal conduct policy. So I'm gonna stay with you on this one, Black. It's like somebody else is stepping up and making that decision. And we talked on the show a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to one of my attorney friends who follows all these cases and he has access to all these cases. And he was saying, hey, the reason why Cleveland was able to do what they did is because they looked at the court case and like, this case is looking real good in his favor. So they bit the bullet to do this. But what do you think about Roger Goodell? Does this take him off the hook of being the bad guy in the NFL as a commissioner, putting on a punishment on players like Deshaun Watson in personal conduct cases?
I like what happened here. I mean, this is one time that I can give the union what's up because they negotiated where he's no longer in charge. It's like they set one person, almost like an arbitrator, to decide basically and hand down the levels. Because because I think at times Roger Goodell, I think what happened with Ray Rice, he kind of, after that point, with egg on his face, he kind of went too far at certain times. And it's like blanket, okay, you're just going to get this blanket. And you got to treat every case as an individual. Now, granted, you don't want nothing to kind of disturb the shield. But in reality, if the man is at a civil site, if it's something civil, and if, let's just say out of 21, some of those kind of basically aren't really legit, what's his penalty? I mean, you can put him away for a couple of games, but what shame has he brought on the NFL, bro? What has he done? He didn't commit a crime. He didn't get caught drunk driving. What has he done? I mean, let's be honest. He's basically accused of having him to masturbate or him masturbate. What has he done? That's the type of shame? Bro, you got people in the NFL driving cars 3,000 miles and killing people. So in terms of what's going on, let's keep it real. So hopefully this person basically can kind of look through all that. Now, should he serve some games? Absolutely. Absolutely should serve some games away from the NFL, but should not be, you basically throw the book at him. Now, I think what they did with the player that they got caught cheating, I know people said, well, is any fit now? If you in your off time, bro, during regular season, I know NFLs are all in bed with fantasy football, but if you decide if you get hurt in week 8 and in your home decide to bet on the Atlanta Falcons, the team that you're playing for, you should be suspended for a year. That one shouldn't go to arbitration. That should go nowhere because you shouldn't be that stupid. That's just flat out stupidity. What was going on with him? I'm glad they got somebody that can stand neutral and say, you know what? Let's look at it this way and basically decide. Now, they decide to give him 6 games, and that's what this person comes with. I think it's a woman. This is what she comes up with. It will live with it. But I'm thinking it's going to be between 4 and 6.
Okay. Ice, what are your thoughts on this? Does this kind of, get Roger Goodell off the hook of kind of trying to come up with punishments for players for misconduct?
Well, in a way, it does a little bit. He had to do it all by himself. But I read even deeper. And part of it is the initial, as you said, it goes to the arbitrator. But if Roger Goodell sees that, does not agree, that he thinks it's too egregious or it's too harsh of a penalty, he can dial it back still. He has that. I read part of that. So he still has his hand in the game. The arbitrator gets it first and they make a decision. And then at that point, either Roger Goodell will agree with it or he'll go, no, we need to do something else, and they can still have a hand in it. But the point of it is, as you said, the arbitrator gets it first, trying to let them be fair and so-called impartial, right? And then at that point, the NFL, basically, Roger Goodell can step in and make a difference, or he can accept what has been brought down. That's what other people don't understand. I went back and read that today. So he still has his hand in it a little bit. So everybody's like, no, he ain't. Come on, it's still the shield. So he still has his hand on the button in case he has to press it. So it's interesting when I found that out.
All right, let's go to the NBA. And the playoffs are just around the corner. And I'm looking at the Lakers. I always keep up on the Lakers because ESPN makes you keep up with the Lakers recording LeBron James. So all of a sudden, they're out of the playing game. Remember LeBron James didn't like the playing games? And during the 2020 tournament, the basketball tournament, I don't even count that as a basketball season, but I call it the 2020 tournament. I wonder how he feels about it now, since he's on the sidelines with Anthony Street Clothes Davis, and they can't do anything about playing right now. Ice, going to you on the NBA, man. There's some teams that are looking really good going into playoffs. The Golden State Warriors are limping into the playoffs. I don't know what they're going to do. They got players hurt. They don't seem to be clicking at all. But I'll go to you for your eye test of the NBA, sir.
Yeah, well, let's stay in the West. The sad thing about it is James Wiseman is not going to play this year. So they got that. That's going to really hurt Golden State. So you might as well cancel Christmas on them right there. With Wiseman could have helped them a lot. So he's not playing. Phoenix is still finding a way to get it done. Chris Paul coming back, and I just don't know what they're going to do with the rest of it, but they look pretty good. And Memphis is being Memphis, but I can't believe the hype because it's the regular season. Dallas, Utah, Minnesota. What I found interesting is I don't think you want to play Minnesota, right? So I'm looking at if Minnesota finds a way, because they're the 7th seed now, if they find a way to whoever they end up playing,
they'll be playing Memphis.
Yeah, that man, Memphis does not want that smoke because the way that Minnesota's playing right now, they're gonna be a hard out, especially when you got Patrick Beverly over there. He has helped them guys get hardcore a little bit, and they're playing well. In the East, Miami at top, Milwaukee second. What I find out ironic, Because, I know y'all and a few other people piling on Brooklyn, and that's cool because Kyrie's back, but they still losing. If they keep losing and they stay like in the 8th position, and then they lose in the playoff game to Cleveland, it does them better because they end up having to play Miami, the number 1 seed, and I think they can get Miami.
Miami's been looking shaky lately.
And then particularly that was Jimmy Butler fighting with the coach. This is perfect for Brooklyn to make a run. Been perfect for Brooklyn to make a run, beat Miami. Then they end up playing. It was another team that end up Philadelphia or something like that too. I'm like, how could you not want to see this? But it's playing right into their hands. Jimmy Butler mad, and the funniest quote I heard. I didn't know why they were fighting. I guess they were going back and forth about philosophy or something. And the coach got mad at Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler and old boy said, "I'm trying to think of the old guy, Haslam." Haslam said, "I'll whoop your ass." No boy, because Jimmy Butler told the coach, whatever he said something. Y'all weren't reveling until Dwayne Wade came. Y'all rode the coach to Dwayne Wade, and that's when the coach went off. He said, "It was not meant for Dwayne Wade."
That's his problem. He thinks he's arrived. I've been saying that for years.
I thought that was hilarious. He said, "If it was not for Dwayne Wade, neither one of y'all would be." I'm just telling you, man, that's hilarious. And then the coach threw a clipboard at him. What you mad for? It's the truth. It went out for Dwayne Wade. You think you would have just been, you ain't even win no championships by yourself? Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Oh man. Black, I know you're keeping up with the NBA. What's your eye test, man?
I'm gonna say I want to start this out here because it's MVP season and everything else. And I was watching I call it the Lakers and Donovich, Detroit Mavericks last night.
Mm-hmm.
Donovich will never be an MVP until he learns to play defense, bro. Stop this. They're trying to excel him up the league. He's not an MVP. He doesn't play defense. He's a good offensive player, yes. That's not MVP. I know we had a white guy win it last year. I mean, we had 2 white guys winning back-to-back. That's an NBA, which may not happen. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love the fact that the Lakers are playing bad because the NBA, you was dumb enough to put them on second half of the season and thought LeBron was going to run through the NBA and everybody be watching the Lakers do their thing. And we're watching them flop on their face. And I just love it, man. I love it. Somebody asked a question there on TV this morning. Who do you think most of the blame? LeBron. They put this team together. You mean who take most of the blame? Genie upstairs? No, it's LeBron. He put this team together. He thought they could put Westbrook and Carmelo on the same team and win a championship.
Wow.
I'm being honest, bro. Let's be honest. It's fun. It's hilarious. Now, with that being said, the team that's going to probably win it was all said and done. Phoenix looked good. I said a couple weeks ago on this show, might have been about a month. I don't believe in Golden State. I don't believe in Miami. Miami already fighting already, but they're not going to do that in the playoffs. They're not going to do anything. They're basically done. Let's get it straight. They're, for the most part, they're done. Jimmy's going to act up again. He's going to say something like, Dwayne Wade, and they're going to get done. Haslam going to come on the court. They might even fight on the court next time. Let's get our popcorn ready. But Golden State, I said it before. I think when what's name came back, when that guard came back, he disturbed the chemistry. Now they got hurt players, and everybody act like when Green came back, all of a sudden they're going to be what they were 4 or 5 years ago. No, let the young guns in Golden State eat. Let them eat. That's what I said before. When Curry's scoring 50 some odd points, no, that's not the way to win anymore. Let the young guns play. Let them have roles. Curry, and it's hard to hear. Let Curry get his when he can. Let him take that role. Let Green play a role. But when they decide to step in, these three old guns, when they decide to step in, the team does like this because the young players pull back and let them do what they have to do. Now, with that being said, the team that's probably going to win it won last night. That's the Milwaukee Bucks, bro. No one talks about them. They're not sexy. People treat them like, oh, they didn't win last year. That team, have you seen the Greek Freak? I'm sorry, man. And then, you got Philadelphia. You think they, going to do something?
No.
You see that Doc Hall at the last end of the game? Clear out and give the ball. Clear out and give the ball. And it's so funny because I was watching them play on a replay. I heard a commentator said the other thing. Who basically takes Embiid and put him at the 3-point line on the last play of the game? Why? He's not shooting a three. That's Doc. In present situation, Doc has no idea what to do. None. And did the ball even hit the rim he shot?
Yeah.
And I know everybody's on Brooklyn once they get Kyrie back. And I want to bring that situation up a little later in the show. I really do. I want to address that and let's talk about that at some point. But everybody acts like when Harden and Kyrie on the floor, Irving on the floor, they're going to beat everyone. There's only one basketball, bro. And Durant plays defense. Can Irving even spell defense? Yeah. I just want to get to play because that team is not ready to play defense and stop anybody. I mean, yeah, if they both going to score 50 points a night, then they can win a championship. But they're not. And at some point, one of them going to get the AD. They're going to get hurt throughout the playoffs. I'm not sure which one. But when I would assume one was going to get hurt. I'm just thinking Milwaukee's prime to win another championship. I like what Phoenix is doing. I think they're stronger than they were last year, but I don't think they're going to still be strong to take down Milwaukee. With all that being said. So the play in, the play out, what the case may be. I think the East going to have a good playoff run. I like the Boston Celtics. I think they're looking good. Their first-year head coach has them playing very well. They're playing strong, but they still need a little bit more tank, a little more to kind of beat Milwaukee. But quiet as it's said and quiet as it's kept, the champs are the champs until they are dethroned, and I don't think they're going to be dethroned this year, bro.
Me and Ice were talking after the show last week, and Brooklyn was playing. Remember, Ice? And I kept saying every time that Durant or Kyrie Irving would come down with the ball, they're shooting. And it's like they don't run any play. Everybody just clear out. They kind of do their things in their shooting. And I think they lost that game. And I'm like, I can't believe they came down the court like 9 or 10 times in the fourth quarter. I think it was against Memphis. And Memphis didn't have Ja Morant at that particular point, and they just kept shooting. It was like isolation, shoot. And I'm like, that's not good basketball. When you have folks out there just waiting for you to pass the ball, you're getting double teamed, and you're trying to shoot in the offense. But we'll see what the NBA does and what folks do during the playoffs. But we got college basketball. We're going to hold on to that for a few more days until we have to watch the NBA. But now I want to go to Albert Pujols. The St. Louis Cardinals pick him up, Ice. I know I didn't prepare you for a Major League Baseball report, but why did the St. Louis Cardinals do this? Did they do this because they want him to retire there with a one-year contract, or they need to put people in the stands at this particular point? What can he offer them at this particular point?
Well, a combination of things. Like you said, he's already, people gonna come watch him. He already said this is his last go round. So why not put him in a uniform that he wants to retire? Plus, he still got a little pop in the bat. I mean, he's not gonna hit 1 million home runs, or he might not hit 25 home runs, but every once in a while, bring him out, let him pinch hit, let people see him. It's kind of like a farewell tour in a Cardinals uniform. There's no harm in that. They spend they waste a lot of worse money other places. So, I mean, why not bring somebody back home? I wish the Reds would have done that 10 years earlier for Ken Griffey Jr.
Right.
Is what it was, where he could actually produce. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the Cardinals is a smart move. Instead of bringing him back for 2 games, he actually can help you. He can mentor some people too. And Lord knows they need all the help he can get. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's great. If the Yankees did something like that, you never hear anything about that. If Jerry G would have been playing somewhere else and they brought him back to New York, nobody would have said a word. The captain's back. So, I mean, nothing wrong with Pujols coming back.
Yeah, well, I live in the city in Chicago where they're the arch rivals, the Cubs. There's a bunch of haters here, and they're like, "Why are you bringing him back?" and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of hate here.
They still trying to get over Epstein. Let that go. Y'all let that happen. You got your title and you got greedy.
All right, I'm going to start off questions with the squad with this question, Black, and are we still good with the playing games? Because I think they should be obsolete. I thought they did the playing games for the shortened season for 2020. I don't see a need for it anymore. Some people will say it's exciting basketball because teams have to play their way in the playoffs. But should we kind of get rid of this kind of playing games with the NBA at this particular point?
I like the playing game. Don't get me wrong. I just think the first round should be a best of 3, bro. Make it a best of 3 or best of 5. Don't do a 7-game series for the first round with teams that probably are not going to win the series. That's the only thing I'm saying. So I don't mind the play-in, but make it, I think, when you take the first round and you shorten it, you do give a team that may not be as good as the team that with a higher seed a greater chance to kind of win it. You make the series more exciting. So no, I still like the play-in. I like that. And I think another thing about the play-in too, it kind of keeps it a little bit exciting during the regular season. That teams that, going to fight that may not have the best record, but they're fighting to try to get in.
All right, Ice, should we keep the playing?
Yeah, because there's a team that's real hungry. I mean, for instance, you remember how Phoenix was trying to get in that 1 year in the bubble, and they deserved to get in because they won. They came in there and had not lost or whatever, but they lost their game and still couldn't get in. But you brought them back and made them more even hungrier. Plus, two of a top team, Milwaukee, anyways, not prepared, they might get clipped. So you got to be ready. The whole regular, I think, is part of it. We always talk about the regular season. I remember Cleveland at the time. Cleveland won the whole. They were the top seed in the regular season, and then they got bounced early in the postseason. So it's like you got to be ready for the playoffs. I love it. I think you got to give a team a chance. Like a few years ago when Denver came in there, and they did all they could to make a run, but they weren't really good in during the regular season. So I like it because those teams that make it out are usually hungry, and they might catch somebody slipping. So yeah, I mean, everybody want to sit back and relax. We earned our spot. We should just be chilling and get ready. But no, you need to get. To me, that's exciting. You got a bunch of rich millionaires, lazy millionaires that don't want to play no extra games. Hell with that. This is basketball. Get your game right. You ain't right, you can go be gone. It's like NCAA tournament. You come here faking the funk, you get beat by a 15 seed. So no talking about. Let's go.
Personally, I think they should get. I thought this was just a temporary thing because we had the COVID season. I'm not really interested in seeing a playing game because if you didn't do it during the regular season, why should you get a chance during a little playing game? I think it's a way for the NBA to make more money. That's all out of. They're trying to, capture the magic that's happening in March Madness. So that's the way I look at it. One game, you in and out and all that other stuff. So, kudos for making your money, but I ain't interested in no playing game because I don't think no of the teams that are going to be playing in going to win an NBA championship. So it's a waste of time and money as far as I'm concerned. Your first question, Black.
I'm gonna start calling you the grumpy old fan. you don't like the overtime. You don't like the
I'll take it.
That's a new name, boy. The grumpy old fan. Just give me March Madness, nothing else. I want nothing else.
Bread, no butter. Peanut butter, no jelly. Yeah,
here's what I found to be interesting. And I you listen, you watch, and I heard nothing to this extent. The mayor of New York came out on a Monday and said, I can't change the rules for what players to play in New York. I can't do that. And then all of a sudden, they said that Boone for the Yankees won't come here to play. A couple other players for the Yankees won't come to play. Then Thursday, all of a sudden, it was like magic. Entertainers and sport players can play in the city of New York without being vaccinated. What happened? What happened? That's all I'm asking. What happened? What happened?
Ice.
I love this. I love it. I tried to tell y'all early on. Y'all talk about, well, Kyrie just a knucklehead. Okay, yeah, he was a knucklehead. They shouldn't have changed it just for him. But to have a mayor stand up and go like he's for the cause and the numbers were dictated and the science and no, it was the damn Yankees that decided that, bro. Yankees like, look, we got Judge over here, man. He ain't getting vaccinated. We got about 4 dudes over here. You know what kind of revenue we bringing in here? And the Mets too. You know the kind of revenue we bring in New York City, and you ain't changing this rule. He's like, I ain't changing because I believe in what it's the numbers and it's the science. That mother Stutcher got a call, his phone rang. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. We'll get it done. Thank you. Really? Really? Come on, man. So you said you want to by Kyrie, but they still punked him. It's called the Yankees. That's what they do. The Steinbrenners, whoever else is over there right now, I don't know who else is over there. They punked him. We made a phone call. You think you playing? This ain't the NBA. We are America's pastime. Get it done. Well, I'm just trying to look out for the best in New York because I'm a New Yorker. Remember that one? Huh? Right. The Yankees pimping, bro, like the NFL. Don't ever get it twisted. That's what they do.
Well, if you ever needed any evidence of who runs New York, it's the New York Yankees, because Brooklyn couldn't do it. I mean, they like the baby sister that you don't pay attention to because she's too little to do anything. And the Knicks, if the Knicks could push that, I think they would have got it. But it's the New York Yankees. And so once baseball season was officially on, the New York Yankees stepped in and says, you know what? We got to have these players on the field. So you need to make a decision. Make a choice, Craig. Basically what they did, he got Debo'd. Make a choice, Craig. Black.
I think, yeah, I agree 100%, man. I agree 100% too. The Yankees kind of spoke, like you said, who runs New York. But I'm going a little deeper than that, a little deeper. Because I'm tempted to believe a favor of some sort was done somewhere.
No doubt.
Yeah, a favor was done somewhere. For you to flip in a matter of 24, 48 hours, it's more than a phone call. That's more than a phone call, bro. A favor was done. Somebody did a favor for somebody, because that was just miraculous, bro. Miraculous.
Yeah. Like I said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's the Yankees, though. That's the Yankees. They're like, look, hey, man, we got some waterfront property down in Florida that you can visit on the and get your little massage down here if you need to at any time.
And you can have a room next to Robert Kraft. Ice, what's your what's your question?
Question, I want comments on this. Breaking news. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers announced that Bruce Arians will be moving to the front office. Todd Bowles will serve as the head coach next season.
Wow.
Black?
I'm not surprised because I think that realistically, part of the reason why Tom said he wasn't retiring, he didn't want to play for what's the name anymore. He didn't like being coached by
Arians.
You said his name, Arians, bro. I think when he came back, he basically probably said to the owner, probably before he came out of retirement, I'll come back, but I'm not playing under him anymore. I just don't think that. I mean, Tom is not, say what you want about Belichick. Belichick didn't call him out. He didn't do certain things to Tom. Tom is kind of a sensitive guy. He just is. I mean, he's talented, whatever the case may be, but Arians had a way of just basically, I think, rubbing Tom the wrong way. Clear Tom doesn't want to retire. So I think once he decided to come back, I'm not surprised. And to be honest, I don't think Arians was running that show that well anyway. I think, he had, what's the name of the Bulls in the defense? The coordinator was doing their thing. The coordinator and Tom gets along well. They just do. They clink, they get, and I think that's one thing Belichick did when he was in New England. If it wasn't necessary, Belichick got out of the way. Arians didn't know how to get out of the way. He just kind of stayed and so that move wasn't made by Arians. And I won't be surprised by the time the season starts, Arians is kind of pushed out the way. So if you push him out the way now, it's too obvious. Bring him upstairs for a little while, bang, 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 season start, hey, go on a long vacation, Arians. But yeah, I think that was all done by Tom Brady.
Yeah, man, if I smoked cigarettes, I'd answer the question like this. What took you so long? Because I thought Arians was going to retire right after Tom Brady retired. And so I agree with Black. I don't think you can embarrass Tom Brady the way Arians has embarrassed Tom Brady over the last 2 years and be in his good graces, because he is a legend. He is the quote unquote GOAT. And in order to get him to play, and let's be honest, Tom Brady was the leader of this football team. Right. And before he came out of retirement, you had players that were free agents that were looking at other places to go. And as soon as he announced he was coming back, everybody wants to stay. The running back everybody wanted to stay in Tampa. So I think the organization saw that and they wanted to get, matter of fact, they didn't have to go look for a black coach. They had black coaches right there. So they brought in a black coach, Tom Bowles. He's been a coach before. He can step right in and all is well. So I wasn't surprised at this at all. I was wondering what took Tampa Bay so long to make this move, because it just seemed like Bruce Arians was irritated with everybody. You call me a grumpy old fan or man. Bruce Arians is the grumpiest of the grumpiest, and I don't think the players really kind of like that. You can only do that for so long until players go, you know what, I don't want to play for you anymore. And so I think he ran his course, and I wasn't surprised at this at all. Ice?
Yeah, once he won the Super Bowl, Arians, that is, then it was like, okay, what's next? Okay, you done enough. And Brady was like, I'm out. You still hanging around. And he probably was like, you know what, my grandkids need me or whatever. Tom Brady's like, yeah, you go ahead and let me get you a motorcycle on your way out. You got one of mine that they gave me. But yeah, I think the right one's on the wall. It was like, Arians, we won your Super Bowl. Now you need to move on. So he probably was fighting it. But then once they said, we think it'd be a good deal if you just walk away or at least be in the front office. And he's like, okay, I still get my money. I still get my pay. Yeah, you good. Don't worry about it. But how apropos, though, for the NFL. Boy, they just keep winning. Damn it. They keep winning. Like, we need more black head coaches. And Ty Bowles did a hell of a job when he was covering up in Atlanta for those games, right? Did a hell of a job, got them kind of motivated and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Tampa Bay need a coach. Well, we don't have to call the front office because we already got a black coach. We got a black head coach. Mm-hmm. I know your boy Flores like, damn, that's
how that lawsuit looking.
Yeah. How that lawsuit treating you. But Ty Bowles, I mean, it's great. He's earned the opportunity. And the NFL was like, so who y'all gonna put in there? They like, Tom Brady, like Ty Bowles. Well, done. Wouldn't even call nobody. They didn't go out and see if they could talk to any other white coaches, right, to make sure that they fill the quota. Make sure they were under the guidelines, the reverse Rooney rule. I'm just saying, you got to cover all the bases before you start making phone calls. Now people know how things really work. It's just an announcement was made and they had to do anything. You're going up to the front desk and we're hiring Ty Bowles. Okay, is that how it is? Well, bring somebody in, have them make a phone call. Send me a fax saying that they inquired about the job. Then we're going to still move forward anyway as proof that we did actually consider some other capital.
Due diligence.
There you go. That's what it is.
All right. Let's go to our last second shot. Black, what's your last second shot?
I'm gonna stay right there, man, because we basically look at Blind Flores and we say some things about him. I said this when he brought the lawsuit. I think it was the right lawsuit, but I think it was the wrong person. But with that being said, man, some things have come out of it. And when you look now from the owners' meeting, they're basically going to, every team will have a minority offensive coach, assistant coach, that's going to work close with the head coach and work on the team that's going to learn. We could look at something that NFL is throwing out there, but I would venture to say that would not have happened if that lawsuit wouldn't have got filed. So in a way, NFL is doing whatever they can. So when it does come time to come to court, there's no need for it. So is that progress? It is. To an extent, it is. They kind of basically made that an extension of the Rooney's Rule. In my opinion, I'll take it. Could more be done? Yes. And I say it, what I said numerous times. Until NFL black players start demanding it. When you sign these big contracts, these $230 million contracts, Tyreek Hill, when you sign yours, when all these players go over and sign the dotted line before you sign it, I want to see X, Y, Z. When they're courting you for a reason. Speak up, say something, get it done.
Yeah. Thank you, Colin Kaepernick. Ice, what's your last second shot?
Yeah, two quick things. When you look about that situation with what's going on with down in Tampa, it kind of makes you wonder, go, oh man, this is wonderful. This is how this stuff is supposed to go. But the coach is like, man, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I did what I had to do. But that's the point of just moving forward and saying, we're here, we're making things happen. We want to move forward. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. But my other thought is this too. Kansas City traded Tyreek Hill, correct? Mm-hmm. To Miami. So this lets you know, these are the rumors, that how quickly they realized that they missed Tyreek Hill already. So they have a bunch of draft pieces that they got from Miami, correct? Mm-hmm. So guess what they're going to do? Here's the rumor. They're going to trade those picks and move up. They're going to move up to number 10. And select a young man by the name of Garrett Wilson out of The Ohio State University. Yep. Speed right back like you never missed them. A young Tyreek Hill. So Kansas City, they might be whining and crying, but he's not crazy. So there you go.
All right. My last second shot goes out to Robert Kraft, who's complaining for the last 3 years that the New England Patriots hadn't been in the playoffs. And I was wondering where he had been in the last 3 years. I'm going to tell you where he's been. He was freaking in the strip mall and that they got rid of after he got caught in. Now you worried about your football team? Sit your old ass down, man. You ain't worried about no football team, man. You're probably in another strip mall while your team is floundering. So sit your old ass down. You hanging out with rappers, you hanging out with all these folks. Now you worried about your football team all of a sudden. Man, please.
It's hard to believe, but don't be surprised, man. If the Patriots, I don't think they will. They don't go to the playoffs this year. Belichick might be resigning, bro.
You think so?
You know what came out this week that he's not going to have any defensive coordinator this year, offensive coordinator. So to me,
he's going to run the show.
Huh?
He's going to run the show.
He's going to have assistants, but he's going to be the coordinator offensive. So which says to me, he wants to take total control because if ship is going down, I want to be responsible for it. So which says to me, Kraft has done had some conversations with him. And basically, you know, let's be honest, Kraft felt like what's the name was his grandson, his golden boy. Tom that won one. You can't even win a playoff game without Tom being here. And Kraft ain't gonna want to keep being up there losing. So if this year Mac Jones don't turn out to be what he won't, in my opinion, and they don't sniff the playoffs, he ain't gonna fire him, but he will be resigning as the head coach of the New England Patriots, man. Write that down today. I'm here to tell you, nobody's saying it. Write that down. I just find that pretty peculiar. All that's going on, and him come out saying that he doesn't like not winning a playoff game. Bro, you got many Super Bowls. A playoff game is nothing for you. Yeah. All your team to come back and get straight.
That's why I said Kraft is sleeping at the wheel because all this stuff going on under him, and you don't know where he is. At least you could say, you know, Dallas is not that team that, you know, is up there, but Jerry Jones is out there with the team. He's talking, he's doing all this. Kraft? Nah.
Jerry Jones taking a paternity test, bro.
Yeah. They're probably in the same strip mall, to be honest.
The judge not to hold a paternity. Jerry, if it's your child, just do the right thing, bro.
That's just my baby daddy.